This is the best position I could find. There's probably gonna be some outtakes. I'm a little congested this morning. It's weather shift. Have y'all been outside? It's snowing. You know where I'm at? I'm in Middle Tennessee. This is C. Trinae with the Worth the Wait podcast. January 10th, y'all. Already 10 days in the new year. What is going on? I might be all over the place today, but I wanted to talk to y'all. My darn podcast app is just tripping. Like I told you, I don't know how to get my intro music. I don't know who to port my current episodes to. I've even been trying to get to Apple Podcasting, but trying to do the research is really weird. I don't know what to do about it. Look at me, y'all. Fresh face. Okay. Anyway, it's a lot of stuff that's been on my mind that I need to talk about from a personal perspective. You know, I'm always giving y'all my thoughts on things. But I'm just really tired of being a listen to people, teaching people things, being a good friend, good lover, and all of that, just to, I guess, be left hanging, if that makes sense. So I've gotten to the point now to where I'm becoming at a distance from people. I'm not hard-hearted because my heart has been broken several times, but it keeps beating. But at what point, y'all, do you just say, you know what? I'll keep this for me. I saw a post or a meme some weeks ago, and it has just been resonating with me. Feel like it's resonated my entire life, but I'm just figuring it out. Basically saying, I think it said something like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the love that you want from someone else, you need to give to yourself. And it makes so much sense. When people say you are what you eat, and then people get offended when you attract toxic people, manipulative people, liars, users, there's something in you that's broken. It may not be the exact same red flag they have, but it's something in there that keeps attracted them to you, or you keep attracting yourself to a certain type of male or female, man or woman, whatever you prefer. So the thing is, we got to start taking some accountability. When you go into a situation, right, you pretty much know what it is. Like I always say, men within the first couple of months, maybe no more than 6 months, know what they want from a woman. The first time they encounter a woman, we all know that most people are visual. So they see you first, and then they like what they see, and then eventually they get to know you, whether it's personality-wise, your mannerisms, how you speak, how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of lost my train of thought. But so the thing is, we all know what we want. And we all know when you first start seeing things I don't like that. I know my issue in the past has been I don't want to come off as judgmental because I got a lot of red flags myself. I'm going to turn those into superpowers one day. But anyway, we all have things we need to work on. So who am I to judge you when we're all growing through life, right? I feel like we all go through cycles of becoming different people until we settle into who we are destined to be. It may not be a specific age. I think some people at my age, I'm at 38 now, still childish as hell, don't know how to communicate or express themselves. They only react out of one emotion, which is anger or manipulation or whatever you want to call it. So it all depends, on the person. But I feel like we have to start taking ownership of the fact that we are allowing these people to do certain things to us. We know what we want. We need to set a certain level of expectations. If you're casually dealing with someone, I feel like you still have to have boundaries. I don't know why people think because you're 100% single, you could just do people any kind of way. If I don't want you popping up at my house, you shouldn't. If I'm not secure with, I don't know, you dealing with or sleeping with multiple people, it's not me telling you that you can't do it. It's just, hey, I won't sleep with you unprotected if I know you're sleeping with other women, if that makes sense. Or, if we've been dealing with each other consistently for a while and we go from talking to each other every day to not hear from each other, I don't know. How do I explain it? How do I explain what I'm trying to say, y'all? Look, this is just going to be a blooper video. I'm just going with it. You can't change your consistency. You know, we are able and willing to do what we want, but you can't change consistency without consequences. I feel like everything requires a conversation. If you start to catch feelings for someone or develop an attachment, I think there needs to be a conversation had, because we all are in different phases of our life. You know, while you might be having fun with someone and just like, ooh, this is just something to do right now, they may be like, ooh, I want to date this person, I want to move further, thinking that them spending time with you is going to make you attached to them. And that's not always the case. Like me right now in my current stage of life, I know that eventually I want to commit, but right now I know that I have things that I need to heal from. I won't say that I'm no good for anyone, you know, but I will say that I have some baggage that I still need to unpack. You know, I am still attracted to certain individuals that are not healthy for me. And I know that I am attracting individuals that may not be healthy for me as well. That does not mean that they're bad people. It just means that our communication styles are different. Thought processes are different. And then we just have different views. And that doesn't mean that you can't be in a relationship or date someone that's, you know, totally different from you. But there are certain things that I myself require. Back to boundaries when being single. Having unprotected sex with multiple people is very inconsiderate and it's nasty as hell. You know, I think that a conversation needs to be had and we have to be honest with each other. I mean, not only STDs, you can get pregnant. It's just so much shit, like imbalanced pH, like it's weird. You know, got people catching feelings and leading people on. I have found recently too that being honest with a person, it takes you much further. You get a lot further than you realize. You know, even if the, you know, sexual connection dissolves itself, you can still be cordial. You may not, you know, develop a friendship. I'll be the one to say that I genuinely feel like sometimes having sex with someone and then stopping that sexual connection and becoming friends, it hasn't always worked for me, if that makes sense. Y'all might hear my dog coming down the stairs. He got those loud paws with those fingernails. Anyway, I find that it doesn't always work for me because it's always a back and forth, like, hey, you want to kick it, you want to sleep together, and I'm not really on that. If we're going to do something casually, that's just what it is. And I'm cool with the casual dealing, you know, and I have done it, but I've also realized casual dealings cannot go on for a long period of time because you start to develop these feelings and you get confused, may become a trauma bond or a toxic situationship. If you're not going to date, it just needs to be surface level, right? Hey, I'm going to text you when I want to come back and kick it. You got to go spending the night, cooking for each other, going on dates. It's just confusing. What are you really doing? And we all know that when you're actually dating someone, there's a conversation that needs to be had, if we're being honest. You know, that's the most important thing. So, you know, calling each other, you know, crazy hours of the night where, you know, you shouldn't be, you know, texting each other crazy hours of the night. If a person is telling you that they have multiple options, respect that. It's either you deal with it or you don't. Women, I love you so much, but your body will not change a man's mind. I don't care how good you are, this or that. If they are not ready for a relationship, hear them out and listen to them when they tell you that. You can come over every day and lay out with them. Y'all can cook together, bond, watch TV, movies, go to dinner, go out of town together, and guess what? It's still just that. And one thing I've noticed with people, and I've even had personal experiences, I'll be honest, you can literally deal with multiple people. When I say that, doesn't mean sleeping with them, but you can literally deal with multiple people, right? And still only love one of them, or one of them still has your heart. I never understood that until I got older. And it's a true thing. Now, I don't know if you can love multiple people or be in love with multiple people. I've never experienced that. I guess because I feel like we are able to choose who we want to have feelings for. A lot of people say you can't control your emotions. I genuinely think you can if you really want to. So that's just kind of where I'm at with that situation. So I say with anything, have conversations. But back to what I was saying about me. Sometimes we give too much too soon, and that's not always a sexual thing. You know, some of us are empaths. Some of us have that mothering energy about ourselves, especially coming from the kids that are like the oldest child, or, closer to the oldest child, we were held responsible and accountable from an early age. So we just feel like we have to save everyone. That's not our job, y'all. We got to be there for ourselves, because all we end up with at the end of the day is, broken hearts, being older, being more mature than we should at our ages. We need to live. And it's okay to be there for some people, but make sure that it's reciprocated. That's the most important thing. And that's the thing that I've learned, in these later years of my life. Learning when to help and when not to help. I've always had an empty cup. Up until a couple of months ago, I decided, you know what? I want to keep enough for myself. I deserve to keep enough for myself. I deserve to quench my thirst, make sure that I'm replenished and I'm hydrated, instead of starving myself and being dehydrated for people that wouldn't even share a sip with me. We have to learn how to love ourselves the way we want people to love us. There's some things that I'm working on now. I noticed that people have like bouquets of flowers, that they post. And a lot of times they're not coming from their significant other. Sometimes they do it for themselves, just to remind themselves of how beautiful they are, and that if I can do this for me, someone else will when the time is right. Taking yourself on nice dates, going to different places, museums. It's not always about food. Maybe you want to go on a group hiking trip. Like me, I love poetry. So I'm actually looking for different open mic events in the area when it starts to get warm. Concerts. I love instrumental jazz, especially like urban jazz. Like, I don't know if you can hear in the background or not. Different things we have to be open to. But dating yourself and loving yourself is the most important thing. And I think that was the biggest fuck up of mine in the past. Oh, well, I want a man to do these things and these things. And it's like, hold on, you don't even do that for yourself. The overthinking, the second guessing, the insecurities, the going back and forth and not being confident. The things that you want in a person, you have to have those for yourself to start with to attract it, right? Of course, there's going to be people who slip through the cracks. I mean, it always happens like that. And it's not to say that, it is some ain't shit people out there, but some people you just don't mesh well with, right? Sometimes you're too much alike, or they're just too far off of your journey in life, or you're just not compatible. It is what it is. Like for me, sorry, I keep looking out the window, trying to make sure nobody's slipping and sliding. But anyway, for me, a man that I consider, when the time is right, has to have a sense of humor. I'm funny. I like to laugh. I need to be able to have conversations with you, have open communication, uncomfortable conversations. You have to be willing to be honest. All that, I didn't tell you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings shit, that's childish. I need to know how you feel, whether it's about my weight, about things that I've said to you, because I have a very strong personality. Although I am a little shy at first, but these are the things that I want. So, obviously I have a sense of humor, but certain things I may not offer. Like, I've always attracted men who are not affectionate. I had to take a step back, like, wow, Sierra, you're not really an affectionate woman. How can you require something that you don't offer? So learning to hug myself more, be with myself more, be softer with myself, down to waking up, washing my face, putting mascara on, or, darling up my hair just to sit here and talk to y'all on my phone. You know what I mean? Those are important things. Self-care is not, and self-love is not bubble baths, but I love my bubble baths now. Like, anybody who follows me knows I love my bubble baths. My instrumental music, my writing, my journaling, being in touch with myself. And the thing that I learned most is not being ashamed of how I feel. Like, I used to feel like I was weak for expressing, oh, I really like this person, but they broke my heart, or I really want to tell this person that they make me feel this way, or, oh, I feel weak if, this person mistreats me, or I feel weak if I express this and they don't receive me. And now it's like, if you don't do it, or if you don't say how you feel, how will you know how this other person feels? We have to get to a point to where we can express ourselves openly. Sometimes you can't put sugar on shit, so sometimes it won't come out in a sweet manner, right? We have to say what we say and move around from it. It's all about surrounding yourself around like-minded people as well. So back to the non-affectionate thing, like wanting a man to walk up behind you and hug you, forehead kisses, holding hands in public. Like PDA is cool. I just don't want it to be so much to where it's like, oh, y'all need to get a room. I think that's a little bit weird, but hey, to each his own. So back to the whole loving yourself thing. Fresh flowers, reminding yourself of how beautiful you are, and you're just as beautiful as these flowers. You know, solo dates. It doesn't have to be a high-end restaurant, but if that's what you want to do, take yourself on a coffee date. Put your phone down, you know, or what are your hobbies? What do you want to do? Do you want to go back to school? What makes you happy? Personally, what makes me happy is listening to people's advice, like giving people advice and listening to their problems. I don't know why it's therapeutic for me to help people. So I'd really be a good psychiatrist or psychologist, but that's a whole nother video. So, you know, taking the time out for yourself to get to know yourself more. No one knows more about you than you, and no one should love you more than you love yourself. And with loving yourself, you have to know the things that are, the things that are and aren't for you. You know, we live in a world where it's such a toxic, unhealthy environment. You know, people glorify people cheating. You cheat on me once, I cheat twice. You know, sleeping with people's friends and he, I got your man, he, I fucked your bitch. I don't want that. I'm still a traditional. I want my man to be just my man only. Yes, you're gonna have issues, but damn, what's wrong with loving one person? Can somebody answer that for me? Now, I don't judge poly relationships, because sometimes that works for people. And I've seen people do it successfully because, you know, it's a financial benefit for them, you know, to each his own. For me, I don't like to share. I don't want to share my man. And the whole thing is, if you do it as my man, would you want me to do it as your woman? And a lot of men do not like to share their woman if they love them, right? So those are things to consider. I just feel like, in my personal opinion, people are afraid to love out loud. They're afraid of being judged, being called a peon, a simp. I don't give a damn. Whenever my man comes along or my person comes along, I might not be posting it like hell. I might delete my social media. Might post him, put my ring, put my ring on my finger and log in right the hell out. That's it, that's all. But again, there are people who want to live freely, be single, that's fine. But we gotta get to the point to where we're more honest with people. Stop telling people what they want to hear to keep them around, because you don't realize, I don't care who you are, everything you put out there comes back to you. That's another reason why I'm good to people. If I have to grit my teeth about it or suck my teeth about it, I don't even do it. And I have a big heart, and sometimes my big heart gets me in so much trouble. And that's why I've started to keep it for myself and to myself. I need to love myself enough to know when enough is enough for certain things. Or just, you know, I'm not even going to go there. So loving yourself, it takes time, because you have to unpack the trauma as well. What do you love most about yourself? When I look at y'all now, I love my eyes. I like that they're big and I can see you or whatever. I love my big nose and how my piercing scrunches my nose up a little bit, right? I love the moles on my forehead. You know, I love that my body has 3 or 4 different skin tones. Those are the things I love about myself. And a couple of years ago, when I started doing my podcast, I learned to like my raspy voice, because guess what? When people hear my voice, they know it's me. How about that? So it starts with loving yourself. What do you like about yourself? And the things that you don't. There are some, struggles. I've been struggling with weight for years because I'm an emotional eater. I love food. So I know I would love to lose about 50 or 60 pounds. It's not for the world. It's for me, because I know I'd feel more attractive to myself, and it's healthier for me to do. So eventually, when the time is right, I'm going to become disciplined, and I'm going to do that for me, right? No one else but me. But unpack those traumas, when we've had unhealthy relationships that we stayed in too long, or we stayed in unhealthy friendships too long, letting people physically, emotionally abuse us. And those childhood traumas, you have to unpack those. Therapy is very important. A lot of times, including myself, I tried to hurt people who hurt me, and it always backfired. And always created more baggage for me. Staying at the party too long. Learn when to leave the party. If a person starts mistreating you or their energy starts to change, yes, of course, have a conversation. But I think we're all able and willing to do it. We know when someone doesn't want to communicate that they're not interested anymore. Leave it alone. I'm a spiritual person as well, so I do a lot of praying. Sometimes I don't like praying because it's like as soon as I start praying, the answers come that I don't want. We get comfortable. I ain't gonna lie, damn, like I want to have fun like everybody else. I want to date. I might want to hoe. I'm just being honest. I might want to have the fun I see everybody else have. It's like I want to do what everybody else does, right? So the thing is, for me, I realized that I'm different from everyone else. So that's why I started to work on the whole self-love journey. You can't love yourself if you allow people to take advantage of you, if you allow people to use you, if you allow people to devalue and mistreat you. I was telling someone not too long ago, I have an experience. I am the experience. I won't say I'm one of one because that's kind of cocky, but I know that every man that I've come across, whether it was casual, friendship-wise, platonic, relationship-wise, I'm one of the women they will never forget about. I'm understanding. I'm smart, I'm resourceful, I'm funny, I'm beautiful. And most of all, I'm unconditional. I'm always willing to get someone, willing to be there for someone, willing to support someone. And that's rare in today's society because a lot of women, I hate to say it, they want a financial benefit, right? And that's the thing, like in life, yeah, we all want money, but most men, or a lot of men in power, will beat your ass or control you and still cheat. So I'd rather have a broke man get what he needs to go if he treats me like a queen and we build together than a man who already got money is out here cheating and putting his hands on me behind closed doors, buying me all these Louis bags and these brand new Ferrari trucks and all of this old shit. You get what I'm saying? So it's just more so about what works for you. Yes, I want a man, who's financially stable. But I'd rather have a man who treats me good and we can build the financial discipline together than a man who treats me like shit and has his shit together money-wise. I mean, which one can you really fix? You can make money. You can't make a change a person's attitude. They have to be willing to work on that for themselves, right? So it's just more so one of them things that we have to learn on our own. You see what I'm saying? It's where I'm at. We all have different views. We all have a different visual of our person, but I know what I deserve, So think about that, like when the time comes, because I think we're all in like a financial pickle or crunch right now. And if you are a single person, what do you require from the person you date? What do you require from the person that you would consider being in a relationship with? For me, they have to be honest, in addition to the sense of humor. Be a great father to their kids. First of all, you got to be God-fearing. I don't care about if your view is different. We're not equally yoked. That doesn't work for me. Just be passionate about your family. Be understanding, a great listener, an active listener, respectful, values life, wants to have fun, family man. Oh my God, I could go on and on. Dependable, reliable, honest, positive, always positive, supportive, and most of all, besides God-fearing, be able to lead. I'm one of those women, I look forward to being submissive. A lot of women, I ain't submitting to nobody. I will if he's the right man. Excuse me, y'all. I will if he's the right man. You'll know. I don't want to keep being in charge of my household. I'm looking forward to what Bae said he got it, so I'm going to let him lead. In my past, I've allowed men to lead, and they've let me down. But that's because they want the right type of men, and I knew that. Come on now. But then, everyone's different. It's not all about him keeping your hair and nails done, which that's cool. Get a little cash up, a little Apple Pay. I saw you had a little couple of naps on the back of your neck. Get that hair done. Hey, I went and got your tires rotated on your truck, or you know what I'm saying? I got you a couple of outfits. Let's go on a date tonight. Those are intentional things, and that's cool. But I want to know what your character is like. That's really important to me. Other things I could go on and on about, but I think I named the most important things to me. Like, we're going to have disagreements, but those uncomfortable conversations are very necessary. All that arguing, the nitpicking, the manipulation, the verbal, physical, mental abuse. No, thank you, because I don't want to go to jail. Because the next man put his hands on me, I'll be smiling on a mug shot talking about, do y'all have Snapchat filters? Because my edges ain't growing in right or some shit like that. Like, don't play with me like that. But anyway, self-love, y'all. Being more intentional about what you want from a person. It's okay knowing that, like, if you're no longer interested in a person, or you know you don't want the same things a person wants, have those conversations. Stop being so fucking greedy. It's okay to tell a person, hey, I like you this way, but not this way. Or, hey, I'm focused on this, you know, and either you're going to lose them or you're not. Some people stick around, some people don't. We all are in different phases of our lives. You know, some people will, you know what, I get what you're saying. You know, I'm right here with you. I'm going to hang out with you or hang in here with you. And some people won't. Me, where I am in my life is finding myself, loving myself more. Like, I can tell by looking at my skin now, I'm loving myself more. Months ago, my skin was much darker. My face is much lighter now. It's just like I feel much better being alone, right? Still lessons being learned, still learning to be more intentional and learning more to speak up for myself and not bite my tongue about it, not second guessing what I have to say. I'm not always right, and I can always be taught. That's never an issue for me, so I don't have an issue with listening to criticism, but prove me wrong, right? So if you could take anything from this video, ladies and men, be more intentional about everything you do, whether it is casually dealing with someone, dating, moving towards courting a relationship. Be honest. Be honest. If you know you're dealing with somebody else, let the other person know, you know, hey, I'm not in a relationship, but I do have other ties to someone else that I'm still dealing with. Or, hey, I'm only looking to deal with you casually. I want to have fun. I don't want anything serious. Or, hey, I am married. I am married, but I want to have fun with you. Some people are bite for that. Me, I'm not going for it. If you're in a relationship or you're married, I don't want no dealings with you. The end. I just don't. I don't have time for nobody to be coming to me as no woman trying to kill me over something that is damn well not mine anyway. I'm good alone. I'm way better alone. So think about that. Think about what you deserve. Think about spending more time alone and stop playing victim. Hold yourself accountable. If you know you did some things that you had no business doing when you were dealing with someone, take ownership of that. I know I've taken ownership of some things that I allowed, some things that I did that I shouldn't have done. And it sucks. But don't beat yourself up about it long term. Keep going, you know, move around, keep it moving. That's it. So that's the best advice I got for y'all. So hopefully this year, you know, you have some goals and resolutions and things you want to do. I'm still working on mine. I mean, it's cliche, but I said it last year. I need to lose some weight, y'all. I really need to lose about 50 or 60 pounds. I went to the doctor the other day and it shocked me. They said I lost like, was it 10 pounds, 13 pounds, one of the two. And I was really shocked because I don't feel it. But a couple of people had seen me, they hadn't seen me in a while, said that I had. And I take it as a compliment. But being more disciplined when it comes to food, being more disciplined about social media. I spend a lot of time on social media. And some of that stuff I be on and post, and I need to kind of ease up on that. I'm still going to be who I am, silly, say what I say, season my words, look at my shirt now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm feeling today. But all in all, y'all, love you before you love anybody else. Respect you, value you before anybody else. Take time. And all that trying to avoid dealing with it. I know one of my best friends sent me a video about how people try to occupy their time to keep from dealing with certain things like heartbreak and healing. You still gonna have to deal with it. So find ways to sit with it. Like I said, now I'm listening to my instrumentals while I'm working. you know, got stuff on my mind now. But guess what? Life goes on. Writing it down, doing videos, journaling about it. I got a journey up ahead starting tomorrow. We'll talk about that after the journey is done in a couple of weeks. But I'm alive, y'all, and I feel much better than I've ever felt because I'm starting to reflect on the things that I can do better. And now that I'm aware of the things that I did, I know not to make those same mistakes, right? So if you don't take anything from this video, do this. Start loving you more. Start taking accountability. Distance yourself from people that don't mean you well. And most of all, if you don't do anything else, keep God first. This is Sierra Trinae, Trinae, Sierra, whatever you want to call me, with Worth the Wait podcast. And I will catch y'all real soon on the next video.